Where in the world are we? Well, if you're in the nave and you look up on the right-hand side at the third row from the top of the plaques, I'm right behind them right now. We're actually inside the organ. This is just a wonderful machine, one of the most complex machines ever devised by mankind before the modern age. It has so many different parts. It took so many different skills to build and to maintain. We have a treasure here at St. Mark's. Let's find out something about it. This particular part of the organ is played by the main manual. And each different size and type of pipe makes a different sound, a different kind of sound. You see, some pipes are made of metal, and there are others around here that are made of wood. There are some pipes that are open at the top. There's other pipes that are closed at the top. There are some pipes that actually have a little brass reed inside of them that vibrates. Others operate like a flute, where there's a small opening and you make that column of air vibrate inside the pipe. So they work all different ways. Oh, it's wonderfully complicated physics and mathematics in the working out of all of this. But when it's all together, what a wonderful thing it is. I'm kneeling here just in one small division of the organ. But there are several more, one directly below me, and then two more on the other side of the chancel, and one in between. It is just stacked in here and crammed in here. If there were not any cloth on the front of it, you would be amazed, and you could see all the different components from the nave. The cloth that we have on the chancel wall is supposed to be kind of like grill cloth on a speaker, so that the sound is not impeded. It's just visually you can't see all these things, but still, in here, the sound can get out very easily. Each pipe makes one particular sound. So in order to have one sound for each note on the keyboard, you have to have a different pipe for each key. And so each one is made just a little bit larger. The larger the pipe, the lower the sound. The rank that's closest to me is one of the stopped ranks. That is, you see there's a little cap on the top of it here. In effect, what that means is the pipe is half as long as it would be if it were an open pipe like that. Yeah, it's that physics stuff again, you know. Right over here, you can see one strange looking little thing. We added this about, I guess it was 7 or 8 years ago. It's called a Zimbelstern. Bell star would be a translation from the German. Actually, it's little tiny lengths of pipe that are hung. So Dick will sometimes use that, especially at Christmas time or other very festive occasions, just to add sparkle to the top of the sound. It's not run by air as all the pipes are. This is something that's extra, that's added. Sometimes on an organ that you will see a star on the front of the case. And if you do, you can probably be sure that there's a Zimbelstern there, literally right behind that star. And whenever the star turns, this Zimbelstern is working. Ours, however, is just here inside the case, and that's all there is to it. But you may look for that in some other places. We've already talked about the open flue ranks. Now here is a reed rank, one of several that we have in the organ. This one is called the Vox Humana. Actually, inside of this very heavy lead boot, there is a brass shallot, and a small reed is literally lying on that. And it vibrates kind of like a clarinet reed would do, but it's very permanent, unlike the clarinet reeds that wear out so quickly. And when that sound, that vibration then is amplified by the resonator here on the top of the reed pipe. It is controlled by tuning by this little wire that sticks out of the side, up or down, that changes the length of the reed. Just as in the flute pipe, the length of the pipe determines the sound. Here, it's the length of the reed that determines the sound. Now underneath here we can see one of the wonderful inventions that they came up with. When the air is moving through the system, whenever you play a note, it's going to use some air that actually goes through the pipe. We have to keep the air pressure even. And so there's this box with gussets and leather, and of course it's sealed very tightly. There's springs on here and lead weights sitting on top of it, so that the springs are pulling down, the air is pushing up, and whenever air is used, the springs will take over just a little bit and push down a little bit, so that the pressure of the air that goes to the pipes remains constant. Wonderful invention. Then right here is one of those things that is very necessary for the organ. That is the wind supply.